Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at a new project that I'm putting together on Replit and the improvements that have happened over the past month on Replit agent itself. A lot's changed. They move pretty quickly with their development timelines, I guess. So the main change is they launched a Replit desktop app for Mac. They've also changed how they handle rate limiting. So instead of it pausing when you've reached your capacity, it's just charging you. So it's a paid service now where the usage here, you have a look at your usage. It will show you your billing overview and how much you've used. And as you go down in a chat, there is like a running total now in that same place. They've also gotten better with avoiding the Replit agent crashing because of context problems. So previously, if your chat got too long and the application gets too complex, the agent would actually crash and you may be stuck for ages. You can't even roll back. If you go to roll back, it'll be stuck rolling back forever. And you're forced to go to the Git tab to try to roll back using the Git, which gives you mixed results really. It's better to use the rollback function because you're actually rolling back and maintaining the context for the agent. So this is the other way, where you go in here, you look at the commits, you click on one of them, and you hit restore all. So, but that's not ideal. So they fixed all those things. What they do now is once your chat's getting too long, they prompt you, they do stuff like this, where they say, if I go back here a little bit, you'll probably see one. There we go. Large chat may affect performance. And if you're looking for an indicator of, before seeing this, of when that's going to start happening, it happens around the like the $7 or $8 mark. Now you can see here, I've gone way past that, 13 bucks. So once you see it getting to that point, you're really risking potentially the agent deleting something to do the new feature. Now you see that happen often. Like with this application, I'm building a, let's have a look at the web. I'm building a application that is a shopping assistant where you chat with the shopping assistant and it gives you recommendations based on a curated list of products that are put together off Amazon. And it gives you, it chats with you, tells you, okay, these are the best products we could find. Here's one we recommend. And then you click here, it goes to Amazon so that you can purchase it. And you can continue chatting and you can have a look at the top 100. You can add them to a wish list. So these are a curated list of the top selling and rated products on Amazon for beauty and personal care, which is also the top selling category on Amazon. We put together a gamification where you get points for discovering products. There's an about page. You can sign in, which I'll sign in just to show you, and you can create an account. Once you sign in, you've got access to your wish list that you can manage. You can move things up or down, delete them, add notes, edit notes, and then share them. And if you share them, it onboards a new user. They have to create an account. So there's a bit of viral growth mechanism there, but we're probably going to extend that to other features so that this thing grows with sharing. And you got your overall profile. So there's quite a bit here, and terms and conditions, all sorts of stuff there. So there's quite a bit here, and it's stable. Now, earlier on, I tried to integrate email sharing into this. And to do that, you had to integrate email into the authentication process. It started the work, and to start the work, it came in here and deleted the AI assistant, basically. It didn't fully delete it, it simplified it. And the reason for that is that it basically can't handle the context of having both. So it trims something here to be able to do something over there, and it treats it as optimization. Even though you don't ask for it, you'll see it in the prompt. When it creates a checkpoint, it'll tell you. So to avoid that, limit your scope in each chat to, about $8 worth of work. It's hard to tell. You in playing around with it, you'll see what $8 worth of work is anyway. Like for instance, maybe in the first version, you create, like in this case, I would have just created the AI chat assistant with the product recommendations from a static database rather than some dynamic API that fetches the products with, let's say, web scraping and a couple of static pages. That should be your first scope. And then with your second scope, you may or may not want to fork it, but I find you don't even have to do that anymore. If you start a new chat, it seems fine. When you start the new chat, just make sure you give it a first prompt to examine what's there, and in that prompt you ask it to do something that isn't major in that first prompt. After that, get into the next part of your roadmap that you've planned out for building whatever you're going to build. And that seems to work now. You get less instances of there's an error with the agent, and it just gets stuck in a loop where there's an error with the agent, which is what happened with my previous project, which is this one. And it's a lot more complex because it's a dividend calculator. This version is working. The version that's deployed is working. But the version that I'm working on to get it to the next level, where I'm trying to integrate, there you go, that's not working. Probably saved the wrong password. See if I can remember it. Nope, that's not working. Okay, I'll have to figure out what that is again later. But basically, once I get into the dashboard features are all dummy features at the moment, with the exception of the portfolio builder, where you can list all your shares, and the calculator. Everything else, like the analysis, the AI recommendations, don't work. So the next version of that is building those features out again, and this is like my second or third iteration of trying to build this. And it's crashing because the context is just way too big. So in doing this project, I've taken a different approach and also Replit has improved, where it's less likely to run into those issues. So let's actually get into something new now. I want to improve the SEO of the homepage for the Carson AI assistant. So I've given it a prompt here where I'm trying to improve the title tag, the meta description, and the content on the homepage. Let's get it started, see what it does. And by the way, while it's doing that, V0 has also improved. So if we look at V0, importing from Figma is now a free option. And you'll find the designs in V0 are coming through quite well because it's ingesting a lot of Figma files. So it's getting very good at design. So we'll have a look at that soon as well. Okay, so it's given me a build plan. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that if it's not already done. No, let's not do that because I'm using affiliate generated links. Don't know if that'll be a good idea. I think I've already got that in the application. So it's suggesting things that I've already got. I think I've already got that too. So let's just stick with this because it's a new chat. It doesn't know these things exist. So let's just stick with what I've instructed it, which is a safe bet. Like the longer you make that list of things, the more likely it is to run into context problems. And you'll find it will suggest them again anyway. So you're not losing anything if you just stick to what you've asked it to do. Once it does it, it will suggest them. It'll say, okay, now that I've done that, how about these additional items? And its suggestions are pretty good overall. And if you click the suggestion rather than writing a different prompt, it seems to do a better job. So let's see what it does. It's having a look through. It's made changes to what I asked it to change, the title, the description. Okay. And now that it's done, let's see the results. That's looking better. Let's open it up in a browser. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's still responsive. Great. And let's try our test. Test chat, see if it's broken anything in the process. Just something you should always do. No, that seems to be working. It is a bit temperamental with showing the product listings. That's something I'm going to change next. What I want to get to is having a chat response that is more conversational and showing the best match products. And that seems to only happen now with a very narrow band of chat entries, which are very closely matched to what's in the product tags. So that's the next thing to fix. So it looks like that's done a good job there. So let's say yes, it'll mark it as done, and then it will suggest something new, hopefully. Yeah, and as I was saying before, using the Git is like a backup to doing the rollback. Rollback is a much better option, but if you're having issues with the agent where it crashes, even the rollback will crash. So you are forced to use the Git and start a new chat to get out of that scenario, and it's not the best results. So this is a lot more stable now. Yeah. Let's see if it marks it as complete. Yep, there we go. It's reporting the progress, which is basically it's marking it as complete, doing a final check, and it may prompt me to redeploy. If it doesn't, I'll just click redeploy up here. It's pretty much the same in the web version as the desktop app. Yes, it's displaying correctly. we're good. I'll document our progress. So let's see if it says redeploy. Yeah, there we go, saying redeploy. So let's click redeploy there, or you can click it up here, makes no difference. I'll show you what that looks like when it's deploying. Goes through this process here, just in case you haven't seen it before. And there's logs of the deployment process. It abstracts out how it does the deployment, but it's just AWS and the usual best practices. It just means that you don't have to deal with it. It lets you control the resources here, or see the resources here and control the setup here. You can link your domain, which I'll do later once I'm seriously pushing this thing. And you can change your resource limits and how the deployment is done. It can be static or dynamic and all the usual stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. And these are the suggestions I was talking about before. You go show more features. It's suggesting, based on what it knows of the application, it's suggesting these features. And the thing is, if some of them sound similar to what you already have, don't click them. It'll just duplicate what's there. Like we already have this. We already have this as well. It's suggesting the same thing. Real-time price tracking alerts, that would be great if you could track real-time price tracking, but it can't at the moment because I don't have access to the full Amazon API. If I did, this would be a cinch. It'd be able to do it in 2 seconds. And to give you an idea of how long all of this took, I think this is about 6 hours worth of work, and it would probably have taken hundreds of thousands of dollars to set something like this up with quite a few staff. If I pushed it, I don't know, maybe $60,000 as an MVP, and I think I've spent 20, 30 bucks. So that's a huge improvement, which means you're opening up the ability for anyone with ideas to produce them and develop this new type of developer, the citizen developer, which is kind of more of an entrepreneur and understands development but can't code. That's going to be an emerging thing with all of these agents that are out there. Replit, Cursor is a bit more complex, and V0, I see them as leading that charge. There are some others out there, but yeah, these are quite good. So I'll wrap it up for today, but in the next video, maybe we'll look at importing from Figma. I'll set up a Figma test file and we'll see how that goes. But if you have any suggestions, you want to see anything in particular, let me know. I'm happy to create a video on it and walk you through the process. And as always, like and subscribe, and please comment if there's any questions that you have.